In this section, we're talking about simple stains. To prepare a simple stain, you would have done your smear and your heat fixation steps first, and then you move on to adding the stain. So what is a simple stain? It just means that only one stain is used. You'll see a little bit later that a differential stain uses two different colored stains. Well, this just uses one. What information can you gather from looking at a slide where you've done a simple stain? Well, you could tell and determine the cell size. You can figure out the morphology, which means the shape of it. Does it look spherical? Does it look like a rod? You can determine the cell arrangement. Is it in singles? Is it pairs? Is it long chains? Does it look like a bunch of grapes? So what does it look like? Some examples of the dyes or the stains that you can use for a simple stain. Like I say, you're just going to use one. You could use crystal violet. A very common one is methylene blue. Another example is saffron, which is a red stain. So it's often a personal preference. What color do you like? For most of the simple stains that you do, usually what you do is, like I say, you've previously prepared the slide as far as doing a smear, you heat fix it. Whatever stain you're using, typically you add it to the slide. Now, some people will just put one drop on the area where they know that they did the smear. Some people will flood the slide with the dye. Leave it on for a minute. After 1 minute, you rinse it with water. Then you very carefully blot dry it. Do that carefully so you don't break the slide. And then you look at it under the scope. So what will it look like for a simple stain like this? The stain or the cell will be stained. It'll be the color. If you use methylene blue, they're going to look blue. If you use saffron, they're going to look red. So the cell will be colored and the background will be white. So this is just an example of a simple stain. It looks like you use saffron red on it. And so as you can see, the background is white and the cells are this reddish pink color. Like I said, you can determine the shape of them. You can determine the arrangement of them. If you wanted to, you could calculate the size of them. So there's times when the simple stain is very beneficial. You get some information. Can you make a diagnosis as to genus and species? No, not. You're going to have to do additional testing for that. But this is a start.